In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the washer tank and pump assembly on this Nissan Altima. We will have to remove the front bumper cover for this job, so let's get started. Starting underneath, there will be 3 Phillips head screws and a push clip on each corner of the bumper cover. For me, the push clip is actually missing, so I'm going to skip past it. But I do have the 3 Phillips head screws to remove, so let's do that. Do the same on the other side. In the center, there are 5 10mm bolts to remove. Remove them all. Now from the side, you can pull the bumper away a little bit and take the splash shield and move it away from behind the bumper. What you're looking for is to expose this corner. Right in here, you can see a 10mm fastener that we have to remove. So grab a socket and take this out. There it is. Now you'll be able to take the bumper cover on the corner and pop it out of its retainer. Now you can pull on the bumper cover enough to access the turn signal / marker light bulb. And if your vehicle has fog lights, that would be connected to something as well. But this one does not, so all I have to do is grab onto this, and I was going to unplug it, but it looks like the bulb just wants to come out with the socket, which is okay. I'm going to just take it out that way. And this, because it's not actually connected to anything, this is just a cap, I'm going to pry it and pop it out of its retainer. And right down here, there's still one more retainer holding on this harness. You can use a trim tool to help you pry it out. Do the same on the other side. Under the hood, there is a cover here for the radiator support, and it's got a bunch of push clips that go all the way around. I'm going to remove all of them and then pull the cover off. Just start on one end and work your way towards the other side. Use a trim tool, pop out the center, and then the rest of the push clip. On each corner of the bumper cover, you'll have 3 10mm headed bolts. However, we only need to remove the innermost one because that one goes through the bumper cover and a bracket underneath onto a support bracket below that. Do the same on the other side. I'm going to pop off the washer tank filler neck from the bumper cover assembly. Where the bumper cover meets the fender, you can peel this insulation away. There's a 10mm bolt that you have to remove. And with this bolt removed, you can pull this bracket away. And that will allow you to pull the bumper cover away off the fender. Now you can grab the bumper cover and pull it away. From the top, remove the filler neck for the washer tank. It just pulls straight out. It has this gasket or grommet that seals it up. Set this aside. At the bottom of the tank, there are 2 connectors to unplug. One is the level sensor and the other one is the washer pump. Doesn't matter which one you start with. To unplug this one, you have to pry back on this tab and push the connector out. And the plug on the motor is actually the same. So pry this out and push the connector straight up till it pops out. I want to unplug the hose for the washer fluid, but keep in mind that the hose might leak a little bit. However, the pump, if you have a lot of fluid in the tank, will start shooting fluid straight out of this fitting. So I have a couple plugs here that I'm going to use to quickly plug up the washer pump, unless you want to just pull it out and let it drain. But ideally, if you can reuse your washer fluid, reuse it. Okay, there we go. Follow the washer hose and you'll see where it clips onto the side of the tank. Pop it out of its retainer. Continue following the hose and you'll see that it has another little clip all the way up at the top. This has to be removed as well. You can use a trim tool for this, or if you can reach it from the back side, you can push it up. And right behind it, you'll see a 10mm bolt. This is one of the few bolts that holds the washer tank in place, so let's remove it while we're at it. A little bit below where we just were, there's a wiring harness attached to the tank. Remove this as well with a trim tool or whatever you have that'll pop it out. Right behind the tank, if you go through the wheel well, you'll find this 10mm bolt. Pull the fender liner aside and remove it. Last bolt is going to be on the front, all the way on the frame rail. Remove it, also with a 10mm socket. Hold on to the tank so it doesn't fall. And now pull the tank away. There it is. Bring the new tank in, line it up, and have one bolt ready that you can start in on any of the mounting holes that actually line up at this point. Hold it in place and snug this up. Don't make it too tight. You don't want to break the plastic tab on the tank, but you do want to make it snug. So if you're doing this by hand, about 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out should be plenty. Start in the rest of the bolts. And tighten up the bolt on top. Resecure the hose on this tab with the retainer up here. A little bit further down we have the wiring harness with the larger retainer. Secure that as well. Clip the hose back onto the bracket on the side of the tank. And finally plug it into the pump. Bring the harness back over and plug in the pump. Make sure that locks in, as well as the level sensor. Make sure that locks in as well. Now take the filler neck for the washer tank, and the grommet that comes with it has a cutout in it. The cutout should line up with the mounting tab. That's going to be the easiest way to line it up so it can drop right into place, because this cutout has to go around one of the brackets on the lower half of the tank. So slide this over the bottom until it bottoms out up against this lip here. And this part's going to be more difficult to show you, but basically just stick it right down there. If you look below the headlight from up here, you'll see the bottom of the tank, and you'll have to kind of just line it up with it. Once it falls into place, press it down. And of course we can't mount it yet because the bumper cover's not on, but once you feel that it's seated, it should stay in place, and of course we'll mount it once the bumper cover is on. At this point, however, you can pop the cap off and fill it up if you want to, or you could just wait until later. Bring the bumper cover back over. Make sure it lines up everywhere. On the corner of the bumper cover at the top, reinstall the bolt that you took out at the beginning that secures the bumper cover and the bracket underneath to the support. Make sure that's nice and snug. Do the same on the other side. Let's reinstall the upper radiator support cover and reinstall all the push clips that held this on. Resecure the washer tank filler neck. Peel this insulation away and slide the bracket back in. Make sure it's seated fully and start the bolt in by hand. Snug it up. And there we go, that's plenty tight. Give it about 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out and put the insulation back. Before you clip the bumper cover on, resecure the turn signal bulb. Turn it clockwise to lock it in. And resecure this connector onto its retainer. And clip the wiring harness back on right over here. On the corner of the bumper cover, clip it onto its retainers on the fender. All right, make sure everything's lined up. And start in the bolt that secures this in. Tuck the fender liner back behind the bumper. Install all the bolts that go underneath from this splash shield into the bumper cover. And reinstall the 3 Phillips head screws on the corner of the bumper cover. Do this to both sides.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.